Okay, yeah.
So what happens when,
What's today?
why are the leaves changing color? Raise your hand if you know. Yes, ma'am.
Because it's fall.
Because it's fall, it's colder out. But why do they change color?
We're not going to the bathroom.
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
This was an emergency. What do you need?
When it's warm, they're green.
We'll go back to dinner day. Sit down. As soon as we leave here,
When
we'll go
it's
to the bathroom.
warm, they're green. And when it gets cooler, they change color. Do you know, because the oxygen gets cut off from the leaves. It's time for them to kind of fall and die, and then in the spring they'll grow back again.
Just like us. I like it.
Just-
what? Just like us.
What do you mean, just like us?
Die and come back.
Now, let him speak.
I meant like when we die, new people come.
You're exactly right, and just like us, because if we hold, have you ever gotten so angry at your parents or your brother or your sister that you held your breath and you were going to hold it till you turned purple and you started to turn red because the oxygen was cut off? And if you kept holding it, but you wouldn't because you'd pass out, you'd turn purple or blue. And the leaves do the same thing, but no more oxygen goes in, so they soon dry out and they fall off and they die. And then new ones sprout in the spring. What else happens in the fall? It gets cooler. The leaves fall off the trees. A major thing just happened with you guys. What happened? Yes, ma'am.
The whole ground is covered in leaves.
The whole ground is covered in leaves. Yes, ma'am.
Some of the leaves on my mom's house, they're off of the tree.
They're off of the tree. What else?
When it's cold outside, flowers change color.
The flowers change colors and they die. What do you do with it? Last weekend it started. And you throw it and you run. It's a sport. Not snow.
Football!
Football season started. Oh my gosh. Did you watch the games last week?
I'm playing it. Me too.
Okay.
He does.
Okay. And school started. Yay! No. School's fun.
I like school.
Okay. Birds. Where did they go? That's a really good word. But they don't hibernate, because hibernate means to go to sleep. They migrate, which means what? Yes, sir.
They go away into the south.
They fly south because number one, it's warmer. And number two, all the bugs die and they don't have anything to eat. What hibernates? Hibernation is when you sleep. What hibernates?
Us.
Yes, sir.
The only thing that they sleep.
Okay. What else? What hibernates?
Bears.
Did I give it away? Okay. What else? What? Bats? You know what? I don't know if bats hibernate. That would be a good question to look
Bats
up.
never hibernate.
They might hibernate.
They only come back, but they only come
But I
back.
have to tell you a really cool fact about bears and hibernation. When bears hibernate, right before they hibernate, that means they go into really deep sleep until spring when it warms up. Do you know what they do?
What?
Well, they eat food because they're going to be hungry. And then do you know what they eat?
What?
Dirt.
Ew!
Oh, it's not ew yet. You know why? Don't tell your teacher, okay? So they know how to poop. Because they can't use it. They wouldn't wake up every couple hours to go to the bathroom when they're hibernating. So they eat dirt. Don't try it.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
Okay. We're going to read a couple of stories. This one is called Rainflowers. And when fall starts to kind of roll in, we get hurricane season down here, and sometimes we have hurricanes. And with hurricanes, we have a lot of rain and wind. So during the fall,
We don't have hurricanes.
sometimes we do. We have the after effects of hurricanes, which means if there's a hurricane at the beach, sometimes we'll have wind and rain this far in. But we don't usually have a hurricane that will damage a lot of things. Yeah? Yeah. Well, this is called raindrops. No, it's not. It's called rain flowers.
What are rain flowers?
Rain? I don't know. Let's find out. There's your lightning. A thunderstorm swept the field. What kind of field is that? Cornfield. Sending mice chittering to the grass. Sending chipmunks squeaking to the low stone walls. Do we have chipmunks down here?
Yes.
I've never seen any, but okay.
I've seen a chipmunk.
Sending birds skittering to the line of trees. What is skittering? Look at that picture. Raise your hand and tell me if you know what skittering means. Good, hand raising.
Get into safety so they won't know.
Getting into safety. If they're skittering, they're getting up there. They're flying up there and just going all over to get up to safety.
Birds have to fly.
Sending woodchucks lumbering to their deep, dry holes underground. The trees bent, the grasses blew, and all the Queen Anne's lace flew out like wash in a tearing wind. You know what Queen Anne's lace is? It's a really delicate flower with little white buds on it.
What are buds?
Buds, little, before the flower opens, it's a bud. Like a rosebud is closed and then it opens up.
I like to open them sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
How do you open them?
You have to tear them off.
I don't tear mine off.
The sky tumbled and rolled with the weight of the thunder. Oh, this is a good thunderstorm.
No, it ain't.
Sending horses galloping to the edge of the woods and sending sheep scattering to the far, thick brush. Sending foxes leaping to the piney woods.
What are foxes?
Oh, see, I guess they already left. The geese rode out the storm in the sheltering reeds. Now, why are the geese still in the rain?
Because they like water. Animals.
You have such a brilliant class because they're water animals and their feathers are waterproof for the most part. And when the sun finally burst through, finally,
all the animals come back.
the rain dripped from the barn door onto my tongue. Yuck, don't do that.
I'll do it. I did it before. I done it before too. I done it. Me.
And the first chipmunks scurried over the low stone walls, and a woodchuck stuck his head up into the light. There's the woodchuck. And the horses stamped their feet and danced like foals. What's a foal?
I don't know.
It's a baby horse.
Yeah, it's one.
And robins bloom like flowers in the wet black tree. What's a robin?
It's a bird. It's a person.
It's a person, but it is a bird. Can't resist
It's
that.
on TV. It's a person.
And that was rain flowers.
It's a tinko. It's a tinko.
All right, one more fun one.
It's got
Now.
the sleeping bear.
Since you are first graders, and I know that most of you can read brilliantly already, when we get to the word achoo, you need to help me, okay? Achoo. Anybody in here have allergies? The fall does that to us too. Makes us sneeze. My son has a runny nose, but he insists that he doesn't have allergies or a
I
cold.
sneeze in the sun.
You sneeze in the sun?
Yeah?
Probably because the sun hits you just right.
Well, everybody's allergic to sun.
Okay. Big Bear, sneeze, Big Bear, sneeze. Achoo. Whose parents, raise your hand, whose parents make you rake all the leaves in your yard for nothing? I'm so sorry. My parents used to make made me do that too.
My back is itching.
I'm sorry. The wind whipped through the autumn woods and swirled to the spot where the big bear stood. She whirled the leaves right off the tree, just as Big Bear let out a sneeze. Not yet. You'll see it. You'll see it. The wind said, "Bear, can't you see? The leaves flew down because of me." Bear said, "Wind, it wasn't you. The leaves fell down when I sneezed." Achoo! Thank you. Wonderful audience. Big Bear tried to nail the leaves back using a hammer and some tacks. Is that going to work?
No. Yeah.
Really?
It's half. The leaves are. Some of the leaves are still all there.
Is this fiction or nonfiction?
Non-fiction.
No, this is fiction.
Real.
No, fiction, this is how I remember it. Fiction is fake. They both start with the same letter. So it's pretend. Nonfiction is real. So this is fiction.
I'll try to do that.
Bears and leaves are real, but the story is pretend. The wind kicked up and raced to the sky, swinging down low, then spinning up high. And she said, "That bear knows nothing at all. I dropped the leaves because it is fall." Big Bear walked as the cold wind blew and came to a tree where the apples grew.
Ooh.
Ooh.
He might eat one.
Yeah. Just as Bear let out a sneeze, branches shook on every breeze. "Oh my," said Bear with an unhappy frown, watching the apples drop to the ground. He knew as they fell with a thumping sound that sneezing had made them all fall.
One's probably gonna eat. Oh, try to put one.
The wind said, "Bear, can't you see? The apples dropped because of me." Bear said, "Wind, it wasn't you. The apples fell when I sneezed."
Achoo!
We don't have any sneezers in this front row. He put the apples on a branch of the tree, stacking each one. Well, the wind swirled round the forest glen, dipping and whipping back again. And she said, "That bear knows nothing at all. I dropped the apples because it's fall." Big Bear lumbered down to the lake, and 20 geese rested. Not one was awake. That's how geese sleep. They do that.
Why didn't they kick one?
Because you don't kick geese.
I would do that.
Just as Big Bear let out a sneeze, waves splashed up like a stormy sea. The geese flew off with a honking sound and flapping great wings above the ground. What's a goose sound like? Honk, 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 honk. "Oh my," said Bear as he looked up high. "What have I done?" he said with a sigh. And the wind said, "Bear, can't you see? The geese headed south because of me." Bear said, "Wind, it wasn't you. The geese flew away when I sneezed." Achoo! Bless you. The wind spun round the autumn woods, then circled to where Bear stood. It's getting angry. And she yelled, "Big Bear, I've had enough. I'm tired of this crazy, ridiculous stuff."
She's bad.
And Wind took a deep breath and let it out with a whirling, twirling, mighty shout. "I whip the leaves right out of the trees, and I drop the apples wherever I please. I scare the geese before they freeze, and I tickle your nose to make you sneeze." I do it all. I'm the autumn breeze. She sounds angry, doesn't she?
Very angry.
Big Bear listened and scratched his head. "Well, you could have told me before," he said. The wind's deep sigh shook the sky, and Bear said, "Uh-oh, it's time to say goodbye."
Bye-bye. Run away.
And he ran to the safety of his den deep in the heart of the forest glen. And suddenly the door slammed shut, and Big Bear's eyebrows shot right up. He jumped in bed and covered his head. "I know my sneeze didn't do that," he said. "It's It's only the wind on a blustery night, so no more sneezes. And he blew out the light.
He looks like a dog.
He looks like a what?
Like a dog.
He does. That's what my son looks at.
No, he's not a dog. I can see his
A
head.
rabbit's butt.
I can see his head. Look at the rabbit's butt.
Yeah, that silly rabbit.
It looks like a rabbit.
Okay, I've got a couple more.
Oh no.
I've got some riddles. Raise your hand, because I know you're all good hand raisers. If you can figure these out. Are you ready? They have to do with fall. What's another word for fall? Autumn. Okay, raise your hand. I'm a fall holiday. On this day, you dress up in costumes and visit your friends and neighbors to ask for treats. What am I? Yes, ma'am.
Halloween.
Thank you for raising your hand, and you are correct. How about, you ready? I change colors and I make a crunchy sound when you step on me.
That's a leaf.
I haven't heard from you. Yes, sir.
A leaf.
A leaf. Thank you. You know the class I had before, you know what their guess was?
What?
A beetle and a lizard. They both would crunch, I guess. I think that's a squirrel scratching at the door, don't you?
No. It's a human.
Oh, it's just them. Okay. Squirrels like to eat me whole. People like to eat me whole, but also chopped up in cookies, cakes, and candy. What am I? Raise your hand if you think you know. Yes, sir.
Nuts.
Yes, nuts, acorns. No. One more. Some of us go to warmer places. Others of us stay around and eat from feeders of our kind friends put out for us.
People.
People eat from bird feeders? Well, that's where all the food's going to.
Bird
I thought
feeder.
it was the squirrels.
Has a bird.
Let me read it again. Oh, where is it? Some of us go to warmer places. Other of us stay around and eat from feeders our kind friends put out for us. Can I try again? Birds!
I
Yeah!
knew it was birds because she said feeder.
And here's a little rule. Just a note of caution. If you see people eating at your bird feeder, tell your parents, okay?